news, without the libelous leftist lies.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Brock Lolly program. My name is Brock Lolly, and this is the segment where we tackle the news headlines, sifting out the leftist lies from the golden wheat of truth. I serve it up to your ADD reality television show mods on a silver platter, and yes, this is a service to humanity. At least it's this one person's opinion, and that one person is me. All day long, you've been hearing, without a doubt, about the evils of the United States of America. We, of course, have real problems, and what is the nation, specifically the media, talking about? Well, they're talking about George W. Bush and how America tortured, stretching the boundaries of that word as far as they can go. I'll have you know that in the military, they waterboard us. I suppose by the left standard of torture, they're torturing all of the United States military men and women. I suppose it's possible that if you ask the left, they probably feel that way in one way or another. But this is all being pulled out now as a distraction. And another way, just harnessing the United States. I mean, that's pretty much it. 3 guys, essentially, were waterboarded, and they got, like, Ensure chocolate drinks, which to the left is equivalent with, dietary torture. The whole thing's preposterous, especially when you figure that we're talking about some of the most evil, horrible people on the face of the earth. And, of course, the people that are saying these things so clueless and so irresponsible. And, of course, that's not to say anything of the fact that this is all just politically motivated. And I'll tell you this, I imagine the American people looking at this charade, this sort of kabuki theater that the Democrats are doing, and hopefully seeing through it. I think even this one, I don't think the average American is losing sleep over the raping, beheading, murderous Al-Qaeda. I wonder whether the people who were jumping from the World Trade Center, determining whether or not they were going to burn to death or plummet to their death, I wonder if they were worried about Al-Qaeda getting Ensure chocolate shakes and how that disrupted their diet and how the United States should feel very, very ashamed of that. I'm just wondering that. Of course, that context is never given as the American people and the American brand is tarnished. I found a pretty interesting narrative on Eric Gardner's arrest. It's in the American Thinker, so AmericanThinker.com if you want to check that out. Fascinating details. Interestingly enough, the more I read about this, in many ways, no matter how you feel about the Garner incident, and I actually do think there was police overstepping, but it does seem, in some ways at least, that the cop may be the victim. Just if you actually look at the training and the different things, the details that are involved in this case. And of course, I know the vast majority of the American people aren't going to do that. If you want to actually educate yourself on what actually happened, I'm talking about the brass tack, the facts, the details, check out AmericanThinker.com. They have a great piece. The NFL and NBA stars are now all supporting the protest. I think that this is bad. Again, politics just crossing over into sports. I think it's bad for our culture. But that's just old hat now. That they're just hand to glove. And purposefully so. I've talked about that at great length. That story's in yahoo.com. LeBron joining the party, by the way. I'm sure LeBron's carefully studied and looked over the evidence before he threw his hat in social ring here. Again, we can't watch the guy play basketball. We got to hear LeBron with his iron-rimmed glasses lecturing us on politics. Protests continuing in Oakland and Berkeley. Violence out there, by the way. They've decided to set fire and burn things. I don't know why you'd be a policeman in Berkeley. I'm sure young ponytailed, pot-smoking, burlap bag-wearing hippies going to high-end college on their parents' dime are probably spitting on them every single day. Hosted.ap.org has that piece. Shutting down traffic one way on the Verrazano Bridge. I'm sure that's endearing them to the commuters that are driving back and forth and making a living. Did the Justice Department lecture Ferguson residents and the grand jury on white privilege? Well, there's very, very credible reports that they did. The National Review did a nice piece on this. Basically, Eric Holder, who belongs in prison, by the way, went out there and lectured people on white privilege. This is this racism where you're not really a racist. You're not a racist, but you are a racist. They're calling it racism without racists. I don't know how much further the left can plumb the porta potty of progressive race baiting, but they certainly are going for the Guinness Book of World Records. Can you be a racist, by the way, and not know it? Well, if you answered no, then that just proves you're a racist, according to CNN. And I read this piece, by the way, by this drone. And she unravels her entire argument in the second to the last paragraph of the piece and doesn't even realize it. I encourage you to go check that out. You'll just see the discombobulated thinking on the left if you read that. Random House now admits that Dunham lied about, quote-unquote, Barry, which is the fictitious guy that she claimed sexually assaulted her. That wasn't even his real name, apparently. The whole thing, a big lie. I reported that yesterday. Random House now coming out and saying that they're ashamed of the whole situation. They should have vetted better, etc. I'll tell you why they didn't vet. She's a leftist. I guarantee you if a conservative would have done anything like this, it would have been wall-to-wall coverage. By the way, did you realize that Gruber was before Congress today? No, because you're hearing all about charades, nonsense. You're hearing about how bad America is and how we should be real ashamed. Now, bear in mind, this, of course, is defending the American people against bloodthirsty terrorists. That's what we should be ashamed of. But not using the IRS against its own citizens, not wiretapping our own citizens. That doesn't concern the left, and it doesn't conjure up these deep feelings of shame. They all deserve an Academy Award. We need a new soda tax, ladies and gentlemen. Remember I told you yesterday that they want to allow no smokers to be employed? Well, now they want a national soda tax, and they're serious. The left, again, the totalitarian left. Remember, totalitarianism always enters stage left. And those of us who prefer freedom, me, you, well, we should all go away and let the social engineers do their good work, their good and noble work. So yes, soda, the LA Times. Not throat-cutting marauders, not Boko Haram, who's down there raping and pillaging. No, that's not the evil we need to vanquish. It's soda pop. And these people are in power. Senate Democrats did release that quote-unquote torture report. They spent $40 million on it, 6,000 pages. All of the Democrats, by the way, briefed on this. They're all liars. They were all made aware of it. Nancy Pelosi, the whole gamut of them. They're all liars. This is all charade. And it's disgusting charade because the people that actually cowboy up and do the things that need to be done to protect us in this evil world have to sit here and listen to these empty suit clowns besmirch them, defame them. The president wanted the released report immediately. And of course, Congress did this now because the Republicans will be taking over. They won't be able to do this kind of nonsense later. And the need for transparency. Transparency. I'm going to quickly play how important it is to Barack Obama that his administration is transparent. Let's take a little stroll down memory lane.
Let me say it as simply as I can. Transparency and the rule of law will be the touchstones.
Since taking office, this has been the administration that's prosecuted more whistleblowers in 2 years than in the preceding 40 years, that meets with lobbyists across the street from the White House so they don't have to disclose they're meeting with lobbyists, and, this is true, censored nearly 200 pages of internal emails about their efforts to make government more transparent.
Yes, transparency, clearly, very, very important to our dear leader, clearly important to the buck-naked emperor, that he is transparent. Now, bear in mind, it was these evil, torturous tactics that allowed the United States to capture bin Laden, which the left very quickly proceeded to parade like a pony across the attention span of the American people right before they were looking for, well, a second term in power. Yes. Interesting that all this quote-unquote torture, 3 guys having water poured over their head, it did not bother them then. Interesting timing. Isn't it interesting timing? But don't worry about it because Barack Obama's on the job. Transparent. See-through like that plastic your mom put around your peanut butter and jelly sandwich when you were a kid. Obamacare casualty list released. They detail who has been sacrificed on the altar of the worst law since Smoot-Hawley. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, your administration is corrupt, but that's not really what you care about, is it? It's the stuff that actually hits your home and your pocketbook and your children, and nothing has done so with more viciousness, coldness, and take no prisoners bloodbath-like incompetence like Obamacare, and the American people are disgusted. Wall Street Journal reporting that. Doctors avoiding it, by the way. Avoiding it like Ebola. But that's mostly what Obamacare is, by the way. It's a plague to be avoided. Do you remember this? When I was a kid, the left would always threaten elderly people around election times that they were going to cut their Medicare benefits. Of course, the Republicans actually never cut Medicare benefits, but that didn't, what are facts to get in the way of a good leftist yarn? Well, here we have the Obama administration actually gutting Medicare for the elderly. I mean, like in an actual way. Press, nowhere to be found. Long live the alternative media. New York Times reporting that. Interesting piece, Science and the Parting of the Red Sea. Here's how it could have happened. It's an interesting piece, actually. The Wall Street Journal lays it out on the heels of this new movie we're going to see about Moses. Why is the European economy shriveling? Part of it's that you have a single currency, so the derelict nations, if you will, the socialists, are strangling out the productivity of some of the European nation states. And also, it's ruled by bureaucrats, and America hard on its heels. Monkey see, monkey do. Socialist monkey see, monkey do. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the stories of the day. And I'm going to leave you with a clip that I found in the light of all this race discussion. And the media is always talking about how white people are racist without actually being racist, you see. And I actually saw a piece with some CNN reporter saying that, to prove that white people are very, very racist, we're all running out and buying so many guns. In fact, there's been a spike recently in gun sales. And that's, of course, because white people hate black people. You've heard these kind of conversations, right? The race baiters, the race dividers, the race merchants, a.k.a. the alphabet soup media. Well, I put together a little piece for you. I'm going to take you to the streets of Ferguson the night they burnt the city down. Let's actually go right to the source, which used to be what journalism did. And let's ask some of our fellow citizens what's on their mind. Why are they on the streets? Why are they protesting? Let's take a listen.
Is America a racist country?
Yeah.
Totally racist?
Hell yeah.
To the bone.
You racist.
Why?
Because you white.
If I'm white, I'm racist?
Yeah.
Could a black person be racist?
Nope.
It's impossible for a black person to be racist?
Yep.
But if you hate white people, does that make you racist?
We don't hate white people. Y'all the devil.
Is this a racist country?
Yeah.
Missouri,
We not racist. Your kind racist, though.
My kind?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a racist country.
Totally racist country?
Totally racist.
Man, America is built on racism.
Have you experienced racism?
Race? What?
Give me an example.
Is he?
Man, oh my God, what are you talking about?
Is he black?
Bro, I done got this. Let me tell you this.
Has he ever
black.
left?
He's
Let me
Why you guys here? Why you guys here?
To fuck shit up. We here with the shit. To fuck shit up.
Does the facts matter? Should Darren Wilson be executed?
He should be hung. Straight up. Yeah. On some real shit.
What should we do to Darren Wilson?
Kill him.
Man, you know what? I would have gave Darren Wilson the same treatment as a young brother out here who did the same thing.
What does that mean?
Expedited justice.
He should have been fucking killed, goddamn.
Has there been justice?
Hell no. Not at all.
No?
Hell no. Not even one bit.
Honestly.
World is in uproar. How the don't you know the answer? How the don't you know the answer? The whole country is in a uproar. For the simple fact that you don't know the answer is up. Go join them. Go join them. What the are you interviewing us for?
Barack Obama's been president for 6 years.
Man, come on now.
What has he done to stop racism?
You know what? And that's where I'm going to end today because I don't have nothing to say. I don't got nothing good to say about the president.
What has Barack Obama done to help the black people in America?
Shit!
Not shit at all, man. I don't know. We don't know.
What's he done for you? What's he done for you?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
I'm a Jewish person. You don't think it's
I'm Jewish. I'm the real Jew. I'm from a tribe called Judah. You're not Jewish.
I think I'm Jewish, man.
You're not Jewish.
I pray 3 times a day.
You're not Jewish.
I eat kosher.
You see these black people out here? We the real Jews. You feel me?
Not really, no.
Yes. This conversation is done.
Could a black person be racist?
Nope.
Long live the new media. collegeculture.net